Yeah, so sometimes I get on a rant, actually I don't even cover, what I want to cover. The biggest thing is I want for Kentuckians to know, to understand, is that there are effects, even if you're not feeling direct effects on you, there are plenty of effects that's happening right now, and this is just the beginning, okay? So you got Mammoth Cave, which has been closed. No Mammoth Cave, don't even, you can go, but go at your own risk. Abe Lincoln birthplace, Daniel Boone, because you can do anything you want to if you don't get caught, right? So Abraham Lincoln birthplace. If you want to, check out the greatest Kentuckian to ever been born in this, on this soil, you won't be allowed to see the place where he was born. Daniel Boone National Park, National Forest, one of the biggest plots of ground in Kentucky. Can't go. This big South Fork National River Recreation Area. 7 National Guard, Fort Knox, like 5,000 employees are going to be furloughed down there. The Army's restricting their position anyway, so they're kind of going, they're having effects. They're feeling some effects in Utah, okay? And I've seen mixed reports. So I think a lot of times it has to do with how if the state has their shit together. So does Steve Beshear, the Democrat governor of Kentucky, does the Democrat governor of Kentucky have the state run? Connect, Kentucky's healthcare exchange system for Obamacare has been put in place, and they said that it had 1 million hits when it first opened, and it's still holding up, and it's still doing okay. So that's good. That means our infrastructure for this new healthcare system is seeming pretty promising. Now, the food stamps are still going through, and a lot of your basic services, the buses are still running right for now, and you have WIC, okay? In Utah, WIC is not being distributed in Utah. Now, in Pennsylvania, there is, some other states there are, but that's, I've heard Stink Ugar from the Young Turks talk about WIC being cut in other places. I haven't heard about Kentucky, but if they cutting WIC, women, infant and children, the program to which helps women, infant and children, helps them get, a juice from the supermarket and good, healthy foods, for their child. WIC, they're the program that helps young mothers, eat right and gives all this good information on how you're supposed to raise your baby well and how you're supposed to, treat folks. So, okay, WIC in Utah, right? So, right. So those are the effects of the government shutdown. For the most part, my life hasn't changed, substantially for now, because everybody is still, up and running. The grocery store's still running, the school's still running, the courthouse, buses, everybody's all out here, still doing their thing. But without government services, without government monies, you'll start seeing a lot of these services go down. And WIC, women, infants and children, they need to eat, they need to help, to cut WIC. That's like just as bad as cutting food stamps. Right. So, there's the Post will lose 3,500 soldiers as part of the Army reorganization. Earlier this year, Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear estimated that when you add in families, around 10,000 people will be likely leaving the Fort Knox area. So Fort Knox is kind of on its way down. I don't think there's any government or any gold there anyways. They've had several audits to go in there to see where the gold's at. Is there any fucking gold? Nobody's seen this goddamn gold. The gold ain't in Kentucky no more. Kentucky, they stole your fucking gold in Wall Street. It's sitting underneath Wall Street. That's where the fucking gold is. Or, I don't know, Bill Gates or somebody's got it. Okay, so, wow, man, this speaker's actually, I've been listening to some of this, and I can't believe how great the speaker's been picking things up. So I guess I don't really have the yells, hey, look at this. Right. Even when I do that, it's like, boom! Okay, so government shutdown, there's a business deal. Kentucky Healthcare Cooperative strikes a deal with UK Healthcare, so there's already these fucking companies that are signing deals, behind our backs right now, which is what the private government does. The healthcare bill isn't actually good enough. It's not single payer. We're being forced to purchase private insurance, okay? They're having an individual mandate which makes every individual buy private insurance, just like fucking car insurance. We're forced to pay some insurance, some independent fucking business. You know, nobody else does that. We're not forced to buy Nikes. We're not forced to buy, you know, Samsung or Toshiba or, you know, Microsoft or whatever. We're not forced to buy any individual thing. Car insurance, I think, is a bullshit. There should have been some fucking exchange for car insurance a long-ass time ago. How much cheaper would that be if the whole state of Kentucky got on one car insurance? If we all got on one car insurance, it'd be so fucking cheap. That's why the insurance companies don't want this shit to happen. That's why they mad about Obamacare. They don't want us to actually get a good deal. They want to keep on raping the fuck out of us. There's not only does America spend more money on all healthcare combined anyway, so we're already spending way more money, we also don't have universal coverage. We're not insuring everybody, and so a lot of people are falling through the cracks. And you don't think that affects you? You don't think there's residual effects to that? Kentucky, for a good-ass reason for Kentucky, number one, for mental health reasons, okay? The reason I'm able to do, hell, I've only started doing this Kentucky News. I did a couple of them before, and now I'm doing it again, but it's amazing how easy it is to find crazy shit that's going on in Kentucky. Just go to Google News, type in Kentucky, you'll see a shitload of weird-ass shit. Page 1 Kentucky, they make a living out of just being like, oh, look at these dumb fucking hillbillies, look what they did, you know, a 5-year-old shoots a 2-year-old, oh, weird. Kid, you know, plays a Halloween prank, hangs himself. In Shepherdsville, they just had one boy shoot another boy in the back of the head, 19 years old, dead. He's fucking dead now, okay? Why is this shit, that happened yesterday? Why is this shit happening? Why do they keep, so number one state for mental health problems. And what do we do with our mental health cases? I know what we do. We put them in the fucking trailer park, okay? And we say, you stay in the fucking trailer park and then you figure your own shit out because we don't give a fuck. And then pretty soon, you know, they're in Clay County, they're fucking beating the shit out of kittens. So, we're number one for mental health. If we get some health insurance here, that would help our state better. It would help, you know, with the insanity. It would help with, you know, maybe people can get themselves some professional counseling. But no, it's all authoritarian, you know, it's a police state. I'm the fucking boss, do as I say, you will get hit, right? That's actually man shit. Women don't seem to, I guess they have to operate within their man shit, right? But they kind of have their own thing going on. I don't see, maybe they're like that, I don't know. I mean, do women have to worry about violence? I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, violence against women is a problem, but I feel like there's a lot of men out there that thinks that hitting a woman, you know, it takes away from your manhood. And so a woman goes out in public, nobody gonna fuck with her, nobody gonna do shit, men gonna kill each other over her. So it makes me wonder if, you know, it's just all man shit, it's all fucking man shit, this fucking violence, this fucking bullshit. Do as the fuck as I say, you're a fucking man, you got a dick, so therefore I'm not gonna get any sexual pleasure out of you. Fuck you, go to hell, eat a dick, or take a dick in the ass, get raped in prison over some non-violent bullshit. I don't know. So, we're making deals. Kentucky Health Cooperative strikes a deal with UK Healthcare. There's some backdoor deals going on. The mortgage market has been hit, so that's another thing. WIC has been hit. The national parks, the National Reserve, and the housing, the mortgage market. There's a guy, a mortgager, saying that he can't sell shit because they have to check the W-2s and financial records. So, you know, they can't go through the IRS and the Social Security Administration because they're shut down, so they can't check these numbers whether or not people are actually making any money. So if you're looking to buy a house, you can't buy one right now. Or sell one. You won't be able to sell one or buy one, you know. I guess if you go through a company that needs to check out your Social Security number, and I guess, I don't know, there's probably a shit ton of legal shit you gotta do. So, let's see, I talked about the shutdown. Alright. So, 9:31. Okay, I'm going to run through the several stories, just quickies. There's a man in Louisville, David Kim. He's on a murder trial. They say he's been like 2001 since they've been following, hounding this guy. They got a blood stain expert So dude's playing basketball, David Cam's playing basketball, this is his story. He comes back and he sees Kim, Jill, and Brad Cam were shot and were lying at the scene for some time. Blood expert just came by, said there was no splatter. They had been there for an hour and a half, just like David Cam had said. He did not believe it was David Cam. He said the blood that was on his clothes was not, that he had done it prior, but it was, touched afterwards. So it's just interesting that, this is WDRB.com is following this. I don't know who the fuck David Cam is. It's a murder. David Cam's entire fucking family's being murdered, and if he's an innocent man, they're hounding him. What a bunch of fucking pricks. What a bunch of fucking pricks, okay? If he's guilty, we're good for them, but if not, like, shit, dude's family just got fucking wiped out, and the cops got no fucking leads, so I guess it's just easy just to go straight to, blaming dude. This side note, Louisiana is actually making it worse for people with marijuana possession since Colorado and Washington completely legalized it for anybody for recreation, medicinal purposes, just to, I don't know, just for fucking make a plate of food look better, right? Have a garnish, planting flowers, whatever. You can't. You can do anything with marijuana in Colorado or Washington. I've even seen cops with like big ass stogies at parties, like smoking them, and all these pictures are coming out. But other states, here in Kentucky, we've legalized hemp. Hemp is legal. Same seed, same plant. So I'm not for sure. The way they had passed it, they said hemp is legal in Kentucky when the federal government says it's okay. So when the federal government gives us the pass to raise hemp, then it's okay. They're trying to do all this regulation and stuff because, marijuana is illegal, which makes hemp illegal, and anyways, Louisiana, there's a new law that gives judges the authority to sentence an individual for possession of even a small amount of a drug on their third offense to 20 years in prison without probation. So you get caught smoking marijuana 3 times in Louisiana, New Orleans, the fucking South, the dirty, dirty motherfucking South. You get thrown and you come to motherfucking Louisiana, like, what the fuck are y'all doing? That's some fucking bullshit. But in Louisiana, 3 times, you get busted for marijuana, 20 years in prison, no probation. Oh, man, that's fucking perfect for the prison industrial complex, man. They gonna make a fucking killing off that shit. The war on drugs hasn't worked. It hasn't worked for 100 years. Look at Prohibition when they made alcohol illegal. All you did was increase the profit incentive. You created Al Capones. You created all these criminals. You made it profitable to sell illegal drugs. That's what you're doing now. You want to stop? Put the drug dealers out of business, legalize marijuana. You want drug dealers to keep on making money and, paying off the cops and running into it too, because you can't even keep the drugs out of the fucking prisons. You can't even keep the drugs out of the cops' hands. You can't get rid of it. You'll never be able to get rid of it. Instead of, trying to get rid of the supply of a plant that God put here on this earth, why don't we just dare to be different, okay? Dare to teach our kids that we can be better, and as we grow up, just because we are grown adults, we can make our own good and bad decisions about what we want to do with ourselves. Meth. Just show a bunch of pictures of people with meth face, okay? People want to watch Breaking Bad, and now everyone wants to be, selling meth and shit. Well, that's stupid. Don't fucking do that. You're going to blow yourselves up. It's not, I don't even know what kind of high it is. I've never tried it. But it can't be that good. I mean, it's like acid and all this other shit. You can see how it just deteriorates people's faces. Like beautiful people just coming with all these scabs and just fucking ripped up faces. It's disgusting. Show a before and after picture of a person on meth to a child, and that motherfucking child will never ever do meth, okay? Nobody wants to be a junkie. Nobody says they want to be a junkie when they're kids, and that's exactly right. There's a couple other stories here which are actually bigger than the minute that I could have used. So, in Kentucky, someone's like, you're married to Kentucky? I guess I kind of am. I see lots of issues in Kentucky, and we have some of the worst indicators, but I think it's also a great potential. So, like Appalachia, there's, moonshiners, bushwhackers, and Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson came out of Eastern Kentucky, still locked up, and California been locked up for 50, 60, 70 years. The crime that he was affiliated with was a heinous, horrible crime which he wasn't a part of. He killed no person. But, you know, Charlie Manson is exactly what we're creating as a society. He grew up through the prison system, never left it. Ever since he was 13 years old, always been in the system. And frankly, you take that type of psychopath and you put a badge on him, then he can kill, hurt, maim, rob, rape, do any fucking thing that these so-called criminals can do and get away with it under the color of law.